YouTube, how the fudge you doing? Hey guys, Nadeshot, and it's been a while. I say that every time, so we're not going to do that. We actually want to sit down today because Haley and I, my wife, we're going through some big changes in our life. I've talked about it so much on stream, but we're actually moving from California to Texas.
Yep.
And that in itself is probably going to be another video. But we're trying to document as much as possible in the old house leading into this next month because we're going to be taking our leave and we're getting the fuck out of here.
Yeah, it's also just been like a long time since we've, sat down and talked about anything, but we've had crazy life changes. We got
Well, Daddy's basically, okay, you go.
We got married.
Oh, yeah.
We had a baby.
Oh, yeah, we did that.
We did a lot at once, and so it's time to talk about it.
Strangers' arms reach out to me, 'cause they know I'm so lonely. Then my mind goes back to you and your sweet love sees.
Well, I've been driving under the influence, metaphorically speaking, on this YouTube channel because my brain has just shifted so far away from YouTube. And if you guys haven't been paying attention on social, I've actually been streaming on Twitch literally every day for like 8 to 10 hours. I've pretty much fallen in love with gaming again, which has been really great for me. Maybe not so much for Haley. I mean, it's making money, putting food on the table, but for a long time I thought I didn't like video games anymore. So to have a game like Valorant, be playing with the boys from Optic, and just kind of reliving that part of my life, I feel like I'm making up for lost time after we started 100 Thieves and moved to California. You guys know the whole story, but exactly what Haley said. We've had so many big life milestones hit with the baby, the wedding, the engagement. And so we actually just wanted to go back because it's our year anniversary. We got married on July 21st of 2023. So we're gonna ask each other 3 questions each about the wedding and sort of just relive it with you guys because it'll be nice to just celebrate that moment in our life again. We just went to Seth's wedding in Italy, which was beautiful, one of the best and most beautiful weddings I've ever been to.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
He definitely outdid us. What a piece of shit.
Our wedding was beautiful.
No, it was great in its own way. But we were pulling up to a scene out of Succession. And what's great about weddings when you get married is that when you watch people go through the same things that you did, the speeches, the ceremony, the reception after, it kind of just makes you just relive your wedding and just live in those moments again. So it's fresh on the mind.
Like holding each other's hand the whole time, like tears. Oh.
Well, I may have slipped out a gangster tear, but I wouldn't say tears plural. It might have been singular. But I say we just get started. You said you already had your 3 questions.
Yeah.
I've drummed up a couple in my head.
I mean, I love that, like, for every anniversary, even before we got married, we would ask each other, like, I don't know, kind of like the highs and lows game, like, how was your week, how was this? We would ask each other how the year was and everything like that. So I thought it would be fun.
Let her rip.
My first question. So for our wedding, Matt basically showed up to his surprise party. Yeah. That's how it was.
No,
like,
great.
He does not plan anything. That's what I do. That's my strong suit, and I loved doing that. And I tried to incorporate a lot of things that he would love too, even though, party planning is so far beyond anything that he's capable of thinking of. So what was your favorite part about the wedding besides like the love that we have, like the actual wedding? What was your favorite part?
Boobies. No. I don't actually mean that. My favorite part of the wedding was actually the location. You obviously planned it so perfectly. There wasn't a single detail that was left out from the moment all the guests arrived to everybody leaving. It made me appreciate you more, even though I already knew that you were going to have all the bases covered. But the fact that when we started touring venues, we wanted to stay in California. It was probably going to be a destination wedding for the majority of guests from our own personal lives, because your family's from Texas, a lot of mine's from Illinois. But I have a small family. You have a smaller family, not smaller than mine.
Extended family.
Extended family, but a little older too, and so we weren't sure like what the guest list was going to look like. But at the end of the day, we picked Monterey, California, where it's like the pinnacle of golf. Funny enough, with Pebble Beach, Spyglass, all these courses, Cypress Point, and when we went up to Wine Country, what was that called? Napa. We looked at a really great venue that was awesome, but it was kind of like in the middle of nowhere. And I had already gone on a couple golf trips to Monterey with some of my best friends. I've gotten to bring my dad, my uncle, my brother out. And so when we finally toured Monterey, I'm just so grateful that you fell in love with it the same way that I did.
It's so charming, and like the city of Carmel is just such a cute little like cottage town and sleepy town, and we just really.
It's beautiful. The people are so kind.
Yeah.
You can be in the golf community while you're there with the resorts that you stay at, but you could also be completely secluded with the hotel that we picked. And it was just, I genuinely could not have dreamed. I've never, I don't know about other guys, but I've never thought about my wedding. I never have taken the time to even 1 ounce of brain power, like dreaming of what my wedding would be. But if you went back 5 years ago before I met you, like that would have been my dream wedding. Aww. Especially with you by my side, it was perfect.
Oh, it makes me so happy.
I go with you. I go with you.
All right, I'm gonna rip one now.
Okay. Oh gosh.
If there was anything at the wedding that we could have done differently, what would you have done?
Honestly, the wedding was like a dream for me. So it's hard to say I would do anything different. I think because I'm such a planner, I do wish I forgot my wedding shoes. So that was a big thing. Like, I wish I could have done that differently. I wish, they all say like it goes by so fast. And it's so true. Like, I wish we had more time. Like, I wish we could have celebrated for a week with our friends. Like, it was just so much fun to have our friends there together, our family there together. It was so chill and just, I don't know, I felt so loved.
Yeah.
But if there's something I could change, I would have brought my wedding shoes, and I would have planned like our wedding day a little bit better. That was like a little chaotic in the morning. You're getting ready with your friends and there's just so much going on, and I forgot to get photos with my bridesmaids. So little things like that I would change.
I want to answer my own question, because the only thing that I would have redone is it's a TikTok trend. So listen, it's not my fault that the brain rot has consumed me as well. But I kind of like how folks are now saying to all the guests at the welcome party, like, hey, we're not going to go work the room. We're not going to come up to everybody individually. We're so happy that you're all here. Because I felt like I was working more than being able to enjoy. It's funny, people might not believe me when I say this, because I have been making videos for a decade and a half on the internet, but I genuinely don't like to be the center of attention. I like to enjoy the festivities of any place that I go to, and when I know everybody is like, they're not hostage at our wedding. It was a beautiful place. They got to celebrate, but the fact that it's 3 days while they're here, I wanted to make sure that they knew that I was attentive. And it's the traditional wedding. You got to say hi to everybody.
Yeah.
But it made it harder for me to actually like turn my brain off and enjoy it.
I feel like we didn't even actually hit the dance floor until like there was only like 45 minutes left at the wedding.
Yeah. The reception felt like very short in my mind.
Pairs well with the sun. I go with you. I go with you. I go with you.
All right, Perfect. Well, that was good. All right, what's your next question?
Next question.
I like this game.
Now that we've been married a full year, what has been the best part and what has been the most challenging? I know it's kind of two-part question, but high and low of first year of marriage.
The high has been all of the things that I've felt for you and the things that I loved about you and the things that I admired about you have just been even more solidified in my mind. Like, you picked a good one.
Oh.
Honey, genuinely. Like, you're just the only consistent and constant thing in my life that is just always there. And I think that's one of the few things. I mean, again, not even dreaming up a wedding, like even thinking about marriage. I never thought about marriage when I was younger. You know, I obviously thought about, you know, puberty hitting, testosterone, falling in love, having sex, you know, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
But it's the partnership, without sounding cliche, that I think I love the most, and it's a constant high. And it's funny. It's like TikTok again, brain rot. A lot of the TikToks that I see are the women being the emotional ones in the relationship, but I'm certainly one that has very high highs and very low lows, and I go through those constantly. It's just like not even a battle, because there's not many things I can do to put the odds in my favor if I wanted to. Just some days I wake up, my brain isn't the way that it was yesterday, and it's harder for me to be like happy in the moment. And it's not a sadness, it's just like I feel nothing right now. And Haley weathers that storm perfectly. Like, she is just the best thing that I've ever done. The best decision I've ever made.
Thank you.
And obviously now with Gracie, that's an entirely
Yeah.
different component. That has been the ultimate high. I never wanted kids, and just I now tell people when I'm live for 8 hours a day, like, gentlemen, your entire goal, I'm telling you, needs to be to have children. Because for somebody that never thought about that at all either, except for that I didn't want that level of responsibility, when you look at your child, it elicits an emotion that you've never felt before, and you can't explain it. And again, another thing that sounds cliche. This guy's spittering and spattering off on YouTube like, hey, I love my kids. But I'm serious. It's something that you have to experience for yourself. And when it's you and your partner, your wife combined, it's unbelievable. And the low that I would say is just exactly what I described, as like me just having good days and bad days. You know, the last year, a lot of people have asked why I've been streaming so much, if I'm still involved with 100 Thieves. I'm all in on 100 Thieves. I was the CEO, founded the company 7 years ago, but it took its toll on me. I'm the type of person that gets burnt out. I have crippling ADHD. That's not a TikTok, like, self-diagnosed. I now know, which has helped me, I think, mentally realize that all of the things that I struggle with throughout my life and things that I wasn't able to do very well that would drive me insane, there's a reason for it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's an excuse to be a lazy piece of shit, but when I talk about my brain not being able to just exist the way that I can see functioning adults exist, you add in the pressure of like building a business in 7 years of just highs and lows. We had layoffs. We made massive changes to the business, more times than I can count. But my wife was always there to listen to me every single day, because my brain is hardwired to complain. And so it was a really tough year, because there were so many amazing things happening in my life. But at the same time, I felt like I was asleep at the wheel with 100 Thieves, and was just going through changes and experiences that I've never had before. So that part of my life was really difficult. But again, champagne problems, first world problem. I'm not going to have you guys sit here and listen to me act like boo-hoo. Oh, I'm sorry that your video game company is hard for you. But everybody's problems are relative, and no matter where you're at in your life, it doesn't diminish the way that you feel, the way that you stress, the way that you struggle. And so I'm just happier, much, much happier now, getting back to what I do best,
It's
is
noticeable. It's
being
very
on
noticeable.
camera and like just being in front of the internet every single day.
And that was so
I'm not cut out for the boardroom.
Yeah, that was so important for you too, because especially welcoming our daughter, it's like you would just come home so unhappy, and so I'm so happy that you are like in a much better mindset, doing what you love to do,
Yeah.
doing what you're really strong and good at.
Yeah, and I actually, I know the streaming schedule is kind of tougher for you to experience because you didn't have to see or live through that part of my life that was everything before you and I started dating. But you weathered that storm really well too. I'm like,
I love it for you.
I'm actually probably away from Haley and Gracie more now working at home than I was when I was in an office 3, 4, 5 days a week. But I think we're finding that balance and we're doing well.
Yeah, and it's going to change year after year, and we're just going to keep adjusting. And honey, you're so happy and you're doing what you love, and that there's nothing that could make me happier as your wife.
Okay, I appreciate that. All right, let me see if I can figure out another question to ask you.
You can ask same questions too, like.
Yeah, I mean, I would just spin it around. I
Yeah.
mean, that question was perfect because it really provokes a lot of thought. So I'd say the highs and lows for you first year.
The high, I think, is similar to what you said. Our partnership just keeps proving to be undeniably like so strong and so beautiful. We went through so many changes, especially me personally, being pregnant and having our first child and becoming a mom. Like, you have been my rock during all of that, and that happened to be during our first year of marriage. But like, I will always cherish that time that we spent together, and a lot of it was just us getting ready to be parents. And on the other side of that, I think that the biggest challenge is because I've been devoting so much time as a mother to our daughter and just figuring out this new normal to me. I'm like, you're taking kind of the back seat as my husband and my partner, and this next year in marriage, I want to make more time to focus on just being your partner and your wife and doing fun things together, because we've really just been, let's focus on Gracie first.
To be clear, I don't feel that way though.
I'm sure you don't. I feel that way.
I like to make little jokes about like,
wife.
hey, I used to not have to clean up after dinner, but now you got me coming to the kitchen with
No,
this
like I used to love to cook dinner, and I just haven't had time for that. There's things
You've been back in rotation. You've been
trying,
serving
I'm
up these chicken and Spanish rice bowls. I could literally eat it every day.
every day.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate the fact that you want to come back to me a little bit more, but I feel like we're all the way in together. So I don't feel any repercussions of the family growing.
Yeah.
I think, again, if the roles were reversed and I had to be doing what you do for our daughter, oh my fucking God, this home would be broken before we even got home from the hospital. I don't know how, and that's, by the way, we're not saying partner and partnership because we're trying to be PC.
No.
But it kind of is.
It is.
And I don't even know, I didn't need to necessarily say that, but just to be clear.
Yeah.
It is a partnership, but husband and wife. I love it. I said I like gender roles.
Okay,
no secret.
last question.
Last question. You sure this is gonna look fine? Gentlemen, what we're gonna do right now is
shimmy.
we're gonna switch up the framing. No, just move over. F- it. And just turn it a little bit.
Get closer to me.
This damn sun caught up to us,
It
gentlemen.
really did. What are you most excited for our second year of marriage?
Moving out of California.
Texas bound.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty simple.
Yeah.
I'll always be grateful for the time I spent in LA because I got to meet Haley, my wife. We had our daughter, Gracie, and I got to start 100 Thieves. Those things would have never happened if I never came out to California. But in general, I think just some of the experiences we've had in the last year, just around the house mainly. We've had a break-in. Somebody tried to break in. Somebody broke into the car. Homeless people shitting in our front yard.
Yep.
Haley getting attacked by a homeless man with a shopping cart while she's alone driving,
Yep.
trying to get into the car. Gentlemen, straight up, point blank period, I understand crime can happen anywhere. I'm not ignorant to that. But where we're moving in Texas, statistically, it's safer.
Yeah.
I've got some of my best friends around, which I'll be sad to leave those
Our friends here.
close friends out here.
We'll be back a lot, though.
We're going to be back in LA quite a bit for the 100 Thieves compound and all the business that I still have to attend to, because we haven't closed that chapter. We're still writing that book every single day. But I just, as a father now and your husband, I do feel a responsibility to protect our family and protect our happiness and protect our livelihood. And I just think that Texas, for many, many different reasons, is the best place for us to be.
Yeah.
It's a great compromise of you having your friends and family from home and where you spend a lot of your time closer. I'll be closer to my family in a way. At least it won't be like a 6-hour flight for my dad to come see us.
Yeah.
But I'm just ready to flip the page and close the chapter on California. I love this home. I'm glad we got to live here. I'm glad we got to create so many memories. But I genuinely think with more space, less stress, and just a blank canvas again, it'll be nice to have a fresh start
we
in
get to,
Tejas.
Plant roots, which is...
I'll tell you what, we got to go see the house a couple months ago after we finished the transaction and closed on it. The Uber that we got in from the airport was playing Eric Church. He had country music playing. Then we went and sat down for tacos. Guess what? Eric Church was playing again. And then we go to another spot, Luke Combs. I'm like, oh my God, all they do is play country here. They love football.
It's great.
Their
It's
country,
a special place.
Their country music and their country USA. And especially the neighborhood and the area that we're moving to. We're going to be close by Hector and Seth.
Yeah.
And I just feel like I have an opportunity to make up for lost time. At the end of the day, gentlemen, you're going to grow up and you're going to have regrets. But as long as you learn from those mistakes, there's no way a man can live his life without regretting something. And again, I don't regret leaving Chicago and the Optic House and Optic Gaming because of all the beautiful things I got to experience and have in my life now. But I do regret missing out on the friendship that we had built together. That's something that has always sort of weighed heavy on my heart. So to have a wife that is excited to move to this city, even though she's not going to know many people immediately.
And I'm from Texas, putting me back in my home state. I'm happy.
No, I know. I'm grateful that you're on board with a lot of the things that I've set out to do and want to do. And it's become the family goal. And it's not just like, hey, I'm going to hold you at gunpoint here in Texas because I will be concealed carried.
It's kind of crazy that
Step up, gentlemen.
there was a place we knew we didn't want to
I don't want no confrontation.
we knew we didn't want to stay here in LA, especially didn't want to raise kids here. And so it's just crazy that we found a place that we equally both love and want to go to and want to, grow our family at. Texas.
What about you? That's same question. It's a good question. What are you looking forward to in year number 2? Oh, wait, I forgot to say, I want to impregnate you again.
Yeah, that was going to be my thing. I'm ready to grow our family.
Sorry. Go ahead, you tell it.
Definitely excited to grow our family.
Sorry.
We're ready for baby
I don't
number
fuck
2.
that good.
And then I'm just excited to start fresh, a new city. But we'll have an 8-month-old. She's going to be walking around soon. The fall's going to hit, Christmas in our new house. I'm excited for all the things.
I can feel the Lord's light.
I know. And it gets cold there. Sometimes it snows.
No, it doesn't really. I mean, they had frost and a little bit of snow, but don't bank on that.
I'm from Texas, I know.
You're from Houston.
Yeah, I am.
You know shit, lady.
But we'll see.
Man, we're in love, huh?
We are. It's so crazy.
Yeah.
Then that time I went and said goodbye. Now I'm back and not ashamed to cry. Ooh, baby, here I am. I'm still delivered. I'm yours.
Well,
By fast.
the last thing I'll say, gentlemen, because this was really my wife. I promise you, it's crazy when you turn your brain off to something, at least for my personality. Like YouTube, even McGowan standing behind the camera. We haven't done shit. And it's not because McGowan, it's because me. I'm just not a manager. I literally just wake up. I might have an idea of what I'm going to do for the day. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go live and figure it out. And then nothing ever gets done. I promise you, YouTube is now, especially break the news. Haley quit her job.
Yeah, I'm stepping away right now.
What does that mean?
I mean, yeah, like
Sorry, I wasn't.
I put in my notice. I didn't want to, I didn't want to say it harshly, like I quit my job, but stepping away from an amazing job
I'll
that
say
I
it
loved
for ya.
so much.
No, she loved her job.
I
It was
loved
actually
my job.
like
It was a very hard decision.
It wasn't a contentious point between us, but whatever. We won't go down that rabbit hole. Long story short, Haley is just, again, with the wedding and the family, she's so organized. We're keeping church and state separate. Like, she's not guiding the Nadeshot business, but she'll be able to stay on top of me and help McGowan stay on top of me to make more YouTube videos.
More videos.
Yeah, because I do miss the channel. I do. I miss, when you stream, it's kind of, you're riding a high, you have a really good game, everybody in the chat's having a great time, and then you get done with the stream, then there's no more conversation, there's no more chatter, there's no, that's just where it ends until you start the next one. But with YouTube, you get to just watch the memories that you've built with your community for years and years. And sometimes I don't go back. I hate watching my old YouTube videos. I hate the way my voice sounds. I hate the way I fucking look. I'm like, that wasn't funny at all, you dumb piece of shit.
Such a harsh critic.
Bitch. But now I'm just excited to be able to watch you because you're so good. You're actually frustratingly good on camera. I love Haley, and I've said it before. She don't turn anything on. This is just who she is, and that's the best recipe for people that, well, everybody's making content in this day and age. But we've always debated on the family channel, and to be honest with you, I think I'm further away from doing that than closer, just because
We don't know how we want to share Gracie.
Yeah, I've always made the joke that if everything was gonna go to zero, at least we got a family channel to like fall back on.
Well,
but
I do think that there's a lot that we can share. There's so many experiences that we've been through as a couple, and we're going to continue to go through. And I think I search for that kind of content. I'm like, I want to know about pregnancy. Like, what does the man do? What does the woman do? Like, I want to know about all these things. So I think we have a lot we can share, and people are interested in your life and now our life.
yeah,
so.
this genuinely might just become a family channel without Gracie.
Yeah, we could figure that out at another time.
We're trying to figure that one out.
Yeah.
The biggest thing and the last thing I'll say, since we got to end this video, I wouldn't compare. This is not an apples to apples comparison, but when we would make an apparel drop for 100 Thieves, we would have it on the line sheet, sampled. We would be sitting on this product, at least the creative behind it, and what it was going to look like and feel like for probably over a year. And then once you share it with the world, you just open this thing that you loved so dearly to opinions, good and bad. And I've certainly built the muscle in my mind of like blocking out, for the most part, like the negative comments that people make. But I can't even fathom with how hard those comments are to read on an apparel drop, what it would feel like for somebody,
Our daughter.
some smartass, to say something that does not rub me the right way about our daughter.
Yeah, and
So-
just for her protection and safety too. Like, we think about all those things.
Yeah, of course. That goes without saying, I'd say.
Yeah.
But we'll figure it out, gentlemen. Either way, this is a good idea. I'm glad we did it.
Type.
And I might have to stop swearing on YouTube again. It's funny. It's everything. Life is circular. Circular? It's a circle.
What's secular?
No, it's just saying, like, my YouTube channel used to be, hey,
Oh, yes.
it used to be YouTube, how the f you doing? Now it's YouTube, how the fudge you doing? Actually, that's not circle at all. I got to stop swearing. We got to make money. Gentlemen, thank you guys so much for tuning in. It's been my beautiful wife and I talking about one of the best days of our lives.
Yep.
And we're excited to get back in gear and hopefully give you guys some more YouTube videos that you want to watch. Thank you, gentlemen. YouTube. We'll see you fudging later. Goodbye. Now I got to hit her.